What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Man, all the true boxing fans, we really gotta thank Terrence Crawford right now. In my opinion, him and David Benavidez and what's the big heavyweight name? Usyk. Them three right there. Those three fighters are keeping the sport legitimate and really keeping the sport alive. Cause between the Jake Paul shit and the fact that you got champions that's really not willing to challenge themselves against other champions or or highly recognized fighters like Boots that won't fight good fighters. If you don't have a guy like Terrence Crawford, Benavidez, Usyk that step up and take the biggest, best fights, this whole thing will turn into wrestling. Straight up. I think, a lot of people a little mad with Tank. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm disappointed in him a little bit, but I understand Tank's situation completely. He got he got caught up. I ain't gonna say he got caught up. I'm gonna say what's the best way to explain the situation. His idol, which was Floyd Mayweather, and a good guy to look at in boxing like that for what he did in the ring. The fact that that's who brought him up in the sport, and Floyd got one focus only: money. At this point in his life, and he went through a lot of mediocre and just all right and just like good solid fighters like Mickey Bay and Jay Leon Love. They was good fighters, but they wasn't really elite level fighters. They was just good solid fighters. And once Floyd saw he had a elite level fighter, he was gonna make sure that he got him all the way to the top with at least risks possible, not to tank to his pocket. That's what this shit was about for Floyd, his pocket. And whether Tank caught on to that part of it or not, I think after years of that, he got caught up in the money game completely. And but his heart is a fighter. Tank come from the hood. He a real guy. I mean, I rock with Tank. But I don't care who you are, you gotta stay on your level. And I think he got away from his level so long, with the solid fights, but guys that he was clearly better than. He did so much of that now that it's time to either put up or shut up to some degree. I mean, it ain't a whole lot more cherry picking he can get away with. And the fight with Lamar Roach, I think it was a wake up call for him that either you're gonna have to get back 100% dialed in, or this thing finna run off the rails. And I think Tank could really get back to that high level if he wasn't so rich. But the man got crazy though. He young, but he not young for boxing. And you know why? I just feel like if your heart ain't all the way in this, man, go home and let this shit go, cause it ain't worth it. Especially when you done made the money he made. Have he proved anything? Not really. Not on you. Ray Charles can see the boy can fight. Everybody know he got what it take to be a great one. But everybody don't want to be that. Some people just want to be financially secure, which he's done. And everybody don't have a Floyd Mayweather to protect them from these big fights. If it wasn't for Floyd, he would have had to fight either Gary Russell, Loma, one of them dudes some years ago. Floyd really protected him. I gotta say, Floyd did his little petty stuff, but in my opinion, Tank owed that man a lot. That's just my opinion. I think he wouldn't have gotten near the opportunities he got as fast as he did without him. He would have never been as big a star as he became without him. There's no way it would have happened. He haven't fought the people in the ring to get the respect that he already getting. That came from the credibility Floyd gave him in the very beginning of his career, being while Floyd was still fighting. And you know who paying the price for it right now? The dude Carmel Mouton or whatever, the little young guy Floyd got now. I think Tank got out on him so bad that yeah, he gonna promote, but he ain't gonna put nobody out there. Like, I don't think he gonna stamp nobody like he stamped Tank again. I don't think he'll do that no more because the betrayal been next level to some degree. You know, why would you mess with that man's daughter? I mean, Tank did some foul shit in my opinion. I don't care what Floyd was doing. Sometimes you stand on your own honor, and then you gotta remember where you came from and where you at now, and how you got there. Now that don't mean you kiss nobody's ass, but it's some shit that's stepping over the line. Bad enough you went out there and dealt with the man's daughter, then you go out here and talk bad about her. I mean, you gotta realize what go around come around in life. I'm a lot older than a lot of these cats, man, and you get what you give in this life. That go for Floyd too. You get what you give in this life. And yeah, you could be on top today, but you got daughters too. And be careful how you treat women when you got daughters out here, unless you don't care how men treat them. Cause see, when you mistreat these women, a lot of times that same behavior will be put on the people that you love. And I think once again, maybe it'll be good for Tank after the Jake Paul fight to step away from this shit. Go out and live his life. And as you grow older, life will teach you. It'll show you just how much you don't know. It'll show you, life, the best teacher in the world is living life. Honestly, living life and watching that what go around truly do come around. Honestly, I'm at an age now where I let the Lord pay if I got a problem with somebody, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and I let God take care of all that. Now I'm past the time where I go out here and get some straightening, or handle it the way I grew up handling things. I mean, at some point we all have to grow up in life. I did some years ago. Having cancer will make you get some clarity. I mean, it's things in life that'll make you get clarity real motherfucking fast, and start really reevaluating what, when, where, and how you have done things. And for me, I feel like sometimes this is God's way of punishing me to some degree, but deservedly so, for a lot of things I did in my past. One way or the other, you're gonna pay. That's all I can tell you, man. One way or the other, you don't get away with doing certain stuff, especially when you know better. Now, some people don't know no better. And when you don't know no better, sometimes God will have a little more patience with you and a little more leniency. But when you know better, and a lot of stuff I did when I was doing it, I did know better. And you pay for that. You gotta pay for that down the line, one way or the other. One way or the other, you will pay. And you may have got away with something at that moment. It seemed like, and you laughing, joking, but boy, the same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. Trust and believe that. The same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. So, from where I'm at, man, Bud is damn Terrence Crawford. I got him top 5 ever with all of them. I don't give a damn what names you want to throw out there, whether it's Muhammad Ali, Floyd. I don't care how you mix them up there at that 5. For me, Bud got to be in there somewhere. Is he the top? I won't say he the top of the 5, but he ain't far from it. He ain't far from it. You could only box in your era. And I feel like Bud, I feel the same way with Floyd Mayweather. Them 2 fighters, Bernard Hopkins, is certain fighters, Andre Ward. I feel like could have held their own in all the generations that I was blessed enough to look at. And that go from like 1978, 77, 78, when I really was looking at knowing what I'm looking at, to where I say 1980. You know, since about 1980 on out, I think Bud could have hung in there at any time. He had the reach and the skills at every level. I mean, at every generation, his skills would have transferred. I think he would have been one of the best at any time of his career. He would have fought if he was going him and Bo Mack. I think Bo Mack should be up there with the all-time trainers, Angelo Dundee, them type dudes. I think Bo Mack deserved that type of respect in the sport. Terrence Crawford has really legit kept our sport legitimate in a time where we needed somebody like him. Honestly, because this, you know, this pimping and this that these promoters doing, and how bad people, how thirsty this generation is for money. And I don't, I'm not dissing moms because I love my mother, but the lack of male men in these households, a lot of these young guys don't really have no integrity no more, and that's cause they ain't grew up with men in the house. A lot of them. I mean, I'm just being honest. A lot of these guys don't have nothing up under the hood. They don't have no. I mean, I don't want to get off into it, but that shit matter. That's why you notice all the guys who got their fathers in their careers, Spence, Bud, his Bud dad ain't there every day, but I've seen his father at fights. Him and his father got a relationship, and his father used to box too, from what I've heard. Devin Haney, Lil Schofield, Abdullah Mason, what's the Mexican guy name? Damn. When Mikey Garcia was fighting, he had his whole family, but it's a guy right now. I can't think of his name, but it's a lot of good fighters out here. They got their fathers in their corners with them. Roy Jones had his pop in his life, Floyd. And even when them guys lose, they can handle it right. They can go out here and speak about it. They have humility. They understand consequences to bad decisions. Cause when you got a man in the house, you gonna understand consequences. Cause when you do certain things, he gonna get up some straightening when he get home. Pops ain't gonna play with you. Like I can convince my mama anything growing up. Honestly, I can go in there and talk my mama into getting her to believe almost anything I want her to believe when I was growing up. All I had to do was come at her a certain way. Most people know how to deal with their mother. My father is a whole nother ball game. He done been my age before, and he know when I'm shooting the BS, it ain't gonna work with him when I was growing up. Same with my sons. You can't spit in my face and tell me it's raining, son. If you gonna tell a lie or anything like that, you gotta do one I ain't told already, and that's gonna be hard to do when I've been your age before. So kids need to have that balance, male and female, but we speaking on these men right now in boxing. And I think, a lot of the integrity gone. And we gotta, thankfully, we got a few guys in here that's keeping it 100, that ain't out here trying to get the easiest money they can and fool the fans. There's guys that want to prove to the world and theyself just how good they are. And I'm glad we still got some soldiers out here, because we need some people with integrity, with morals, with character for these young guys to look up to. We don't need all these young dudes looking up to clowns and assholes and ignorant wannabe rapper looking motherfuckers that's boxers, that's running around acting extra ignorant, trying to get views on YouTube and stuff like that. We need stand-up guys. I like Brian Norman Jr. We need them type guys for the younger generations to come, that's coming up to look up to. These guys who walking around with some character and integrity, not being fly and being cool. That's all right, but it's also a time and a place for everything, and I just feel like Terrence Crawford represents the sport well because he represents the sport as himself. He's not like Devin Haney trying to be Floyd Mayweather and some of these other guys who being something other than themselves when they're in front of the camera. I love to see an original guy. I hate a copycat. I can't stand a guy who ain't got his own, who can't create his own lane. And what I mean by that is, don't try to be like another dude. Then, and what killed me, they'll do all this, try to be like Floyd, and then try to diss him at the same time. It don't even make sense, So, you know, like Devin Haney as a fighter, think he a good kid, but I think he completely phony with the persona. I ain't crazy about walking around with bodyguards. People don't even know who the hell you are like that, dude. Straight up. You real popular in the boxing community, but I don't think he need to have bodyguards with him when he go out there. Really don't. One, you are a fighter. Two, ain't nobody thinking about you like that, dude. Unless you make them. I wouldn't even want to have to go outside like that. So once again, man, I just hate when guys follow a bad example. And, in the ring, Floyd, best I seen, but outside the ring, I had never really been a big fan of it, straight up, but once again, thanks again, Bud, for keeping the sport legit. And that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Till the next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.